When the boss lady asked Kane what she wanted to eat, she cautiously replied, "Just a vanilla milkshake will do." Sherry enthusiastically suggested she try a sandwich, as if life had never been so colorful. Kane politely declined, stating she wasn't much into chewing. Sherry, undeterred, ordered a hard pie as their feast arrived like an unequal contest. Sherry cut a small slice of pie and handed it to Kane, who shook her head nervously, saying she really couldn't. Sherry looked at her puzzled, her eyes shining with sincere curiosity, asking why she couldn't. Kane then had to explain her hereditary condition that made her feel no pain, not even hot or cold. Sherry suddenly realized why Kane had no reaction when burned. She was truly a different kind of girl. Yet, Sherry was still encouraging her to try the hard pie, and at that moment, Kane felt an unprecedented urge of rebellion against her food fears. All her life, she shied away due to the illness, always picking the safest path. Now, facing Sherry's encouraging look, she suddenly yearns to try something new like a hammer hitting a nail. Kane finally opened her mouth, cautiously took the sweets, moving slowly as in a ritual, each chew full of care. Sherry watched her intently, ready to help in any abnormal case. This small adventure revealed new life possibilities, like achieving a major research feat. For the first time, Kane invited Sherry to her apartment. For an ordinary couple, that was completely normal, but for Kane, it was like crossing a century in distance. The huge apartment was like an island, with various attempts to avoid external dangers that almost seemed humorous. Every piece of furniture and every corner had been meticulously designed for her unique situation. No sharp edges, no bone hazards, the kitchen was almost unused. That night, like in a TV drama, the relationship reached a new stage. Just when Kane thought life was finally heading in a good direction, fate prepared a special gift for her on Christmas Eve. On Christmas, the bank buzzed with activity, as if everyone vied to show their deposit might. Tellers were busy with bonuses and holiday deposits when 3 Santa Mouse robbers burst in, like a scene from a play. They brandished weapons and shouted for everyone to get on the floor, as customers screamed and hit the deck, reminding one of a real-life horror. The robbers demanded a bank clerk open the vault, but were resolutely refused. Even beaten to a pulp, they refused to yield to true youthful courage. Robbers found Kane's father, forcing him to enter the vault password. Tension rose as time passed enough to make anyone sweat. However, faced with life and death danger, Kane displayed an unusual calmness, almost like a soldier calmly surveying the battlefield. The robber used the father as a pawn, forcing Kane to reveal the password, and she, begrudgingly, finally spilled the beans. The robber swiftly opened the vault, grabbed the gold bars, but alarms blared and the police were on their way. The robbers didn't have time to think before they realized Kane had woken up from her stupor, like a suddenly visited sleeping beauty. Kane saw the kidnappers flee, tried to chase in a police car, but found bleeding officers a tragedy. Seeing this, she rushed over to help the officers stop the bleeding. At that moment, a crazy decision flashed in her mind. For a law-abiding office worker, it was a mad decision, yet at that moment, Kane had only one thought: to save the person. The robbers shot wildly, but Kane couldn't wait, charging toward the police car for a chase, as if nothing could stop her. Kane randomly chose a car to chase, cornering the robbers, yet realizing the car was empty of the person she hoped to see. She raised the gun, aiming at the robber like a hero about to unleash fury, thinking only to learn that person's whereabouts. Time's up. Upon learning Kane's intent, the robber struck back fatally, like a meteor slicing the night sky. Kane pursued her adversary, bullets whizzing past her, displaying superhuman abilities as she dodged, fitting into the category of the indestructible little roach, crazily handling this unfair battle. Kane fearlessly joined the fight, enraging the robber, who then grabbed a tool for a deeper clash. She twisted, saw glass shards, seized the chance to counter, like an action movie climax. Through this clue, she located the other 2 robbers, driving the stolen car to continue the chase, becoming the Supergirl of the day. Kane sent a distress call to her only online friend, Roscoe, truly the most reliable savior at a critical moment. At this moment, she finally realized she was injured and rushed to an elderly customer's shop for a quick respite. Little did she know that she would spark a moment of savior culture. An elderly customer, struggling after his wife died, faced losing his home. Kane extended his payment terms like an angel. Watching Kane patch up his wound, the elderly customer felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Such a small act of kindness became a beacon of light in his. Before leaving, Kane handed the elderly customer some money, just as she received an address from her online friend. She dashed off to seek the truth. At that moment, Officer Barbara called Kane. "Hey, don't forget, you have responsibilities." But Kane brushed her off like a pesky fly. She felt she was fighting to rescue Sherry, but was completely uninterested in everything else, akin to being a Lone Ranger. She knew that in 75 hostage cases, victims would be brutally killed within the first few hours, so she had to prioritize rescuing Sherry first, a determination that had already been deeply ingrained in her heart. Kane knew that once she acted like lightning, it could change her life entirely, bringing a glimmer of light to her life. She asked, "If your daughter were kidnapped, would you wait for others to save her?" The question cut like a knife, leaving Barbara speechless. Slowly, Barbara realized that this obsession was more than just impulsiveness. It was deep love, warming her heart. The robbers returned to their hideout to discover Ben hadn't returned, causing a twinge of panic, truly a mental game gone wild. Despite worry, Andre stayed calm, like a chess player, making careful moves. Over time, Leafing's emotions finally erupted as she snapped at Simon, stressing that hurting innocents was a battle of air. In turn, Simon blamed Sherry, stating that if she had dug out the password from that lovebird earlier, no one would have died. Subtitles. Kane located a tattoo shop using the address provided and presented a photograph to the shop owner, who appeared utterly confused, mistakenly believing that she had once served alongside Ben. Only when Kane persistently continued to inquire about Ben did the owner come to realize that the situation was far more complex than it seemed. At the crucial moment, the owner quietly grabbed a knife, preparing for battle, but Kane stood undaunted, ready to embrace the new fight, unaware that victory or defeat lay in a single thought.